In 2 weeks, a new movie is coming out about one of the most powerful and controversial men in our country's history. J. Edgar Hoover ran the FBI for almost 50 years through 9 presidents. And Clint Eastwood's new movie, J. Edgar, captures the complexities of his life.
Imagine if every citizen in this country were uniquely identifiable by the pattern on their fingers. Imagine how quickly we could find them if they committed a crime. You remember that file we created on his wife?
Mrs. Roosevelt.
Will you make a copy for me, please? Is that legal? Sometimes you need to bend the rules a little in order to keep your country safe.
As mentioned, the movie's not open yet, but some are concerned about the portrayal of Hoover. And joining me now, William Brannon, chairman of the J. Edgar Hoover Foundation. William, thank you for your time.
Good to be with you, Tamara.
I understand you sent a letter to Clint Eastwood with your concerns. What did you say to Mr. Eastwood?
Well, first of all, the FBI, the J. Edgar Hoover Foundation, the Society of Ex-Agents, we're very happy that Mr. Eastwood is doing a movie on Mr. Hoover. Certainly better Mr. Eastwood than maybe some other producers. But there was publications, or the screenwriter was giving talks and talking about homosexuality, and it was going to be portrayed in this movie, and those of us who knew Mr. Hoover certainly knew that he was anything but a homosexual. So I wrote Mr. Eastwood to express our concerns, the Foundation's concerns, and the Society of Former Agents wrote and expressed their concern. Mr. Eastwood was very gracious. He responded immediately, saying that, he gave no credence whatsoever to the cross-dressing allegations that had been put against Mr. Hoover, or that he didn't plan on showing any openly homosexual relationship between Mr. Hoover and Mr. Tolson. So I'm very satisfied with that.
But in your letter, let me get you hang on for a second, because you said in your letter, it would be a grave injustice and a monumental distortion to proceed with such a depiction based on completely unfounded assertions. And you're talking about the rumor that, and we need to catch people up here, that Clyde Tolson was a former top aide to Hoover. They vacationed together. I believe they're very close together, and there has been, to your point, unfounded speculation that these men had a relationship that went far beyond best friends or an aide and a boss here. I've not seen the movie, I have to be honest, but I did speak with someone who saw the movie, and they indicated to me that a great portion of this film does deal with the allegations that Tolson and Hoover were in a romantic relationship. I want to play a clip from the movie that shows the closeness between the two.
If that's the case, I'm going to be very disappointed.
Let's take a look. Okay, we don't have the clip of this, but the actor...
I can't see you, so I don't have access to viewing any clip. No, and I stand by what I said in my letter. 12,000 FBI agents can't be wrong. If Mr. Hoover was gay, and then I'm sure that the FBI would have known about it, the FBI agents, and it would have been all over the country.
Well, let me ask you this: because the movie also portrays him as a person willing to manipulate, blackmail, even lie to get what he wanted, including against former First Ladies, the Kennedys, the list goes on, and we know the allegations regarding other leaders who were reportedly blackmailed or even threatened by Hoover. Is it okay to portray him in that way, as opposed to the possibility that he was gay?
Well, there's a lot of fiction put out there about Mr. Hoover. Now, he wasn't perfect by any means, and I put him in the category of a great American hero who professionalized law enforcement. He's a Patton or a MacArthur in my view, and in the view of the Foundation. I just didn't want to see him unjustly maligned or accused of being something that he wasn't, and that was the reason for writing Mr. Eastwood.
Well, it'll be an interesting movie. I mean, you point out you don't want him to be unjustly maligned. Others believe he certainly did that to people throughout his career. But we'll see what the movie has to offer. Again, Clint Eastwood says he's indifferent to allegations of whether Hoover was gay or not. He wanted to make a great movie. So we'll see what happens. But thank you for your time, William. We greatly appreciate it.
Okay, thank you very much, Tamara.